How are you, Sora? I'm good. I wore the red lip just for you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm super excited to connect. And today is
Yeah,
popping. Like people are jumping on right at 7 o'clock. So y'all
good.
shout out where you're tuning in from. So Sora Astin can feel the love. But um for those of you joining from TipOff Game, I'm Liz, the founder of Pull Up Card Game. We are an unapologetic drinking card game for Black alumni. And it's Women's History Month. So I'm super excited to be joined by a fellow woman game maker. Astin, I want to turn it over to you to introduce yourself and talk about your game.
Cool, cool. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I was excited when I got your email, so I appreciate the invite. But my name is Astin Hayes. I'm CEO and co-founder of TipOff Games, which is the word guessing game for the culture. We've been out since 2017. We're one of the few games like ours that's actually an app, so you can customize the game however you like. We recently rolled out a new version of the game where you can play it anytime, anywhere with anyone. Um, Basically, if you remember the what is it, the house party app over COVID. So basically, we have it laid out like the house party app. You can see and talk to people, and they don't have to physically be with you to play the game. So try that. Download us. We're in Play in Apple Store or App Store. You can download us for 99 cents.
Y'all, 99 cents. Come on now. I know y'all got some
Exactly.
change. First of all, coins are apparently, hard to find these days, but you got 99 cents on your app today.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
can you talk a little bit about like, where you went to school, where you're based, just a little bit about where you're from?
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Not born but raised. So born in Seattle, but been in Chicago since I was like 2 years old. So this is home. I'm here now. I went to University of Miami, graduated from University of Miami with my undergrad back in '06, and then went on, came back home to DePaul, got my master's here at DePaul University, and actually came up with the game the summer that I graduated from University of Miami. So it was actually just a card game on these flimsy little, cardboard that I went to Kinko's to just get them printed out and cut them out myself. And I actually still have them in my house. I should have had them so I could show them. But yeah, they're like little tattered cards now, but that was where the idea came from. And then when apps became big, then that was my focus is to make it an app versus a card game, and was able to do that some years later when I came across my now business partner who was in tech. So it's all about timing and networking and who you know, not always what you know.
And I'm like super excited to talk with you about like the nuance of going from a card game, something physical, to, being specifically on an app. Um, but funny story, I found out about your game because I posted a TikTok, and I'm pretty sure it was one where it was like Delta owned games, and I only included
Okay.
like 4 games. So mine, Lift Every Voice, and Sing, Culture Tags, and Code Red. And
Hmm.
people in the comments were like, "Hey, Tip Off Game is also soror owned." So that's how I ended up reaching out.
Good, good. I'm glad people were looking out. Yay.
Yeah,
Good, good.
when they say word of mouth, that's how that works.
Totally, totally.
Yes. So, what are you currently drinking tonight? And if you're not drinking tonight, what is usually your drink of choice?
Okay, well, what I am drinking, and I think I put the bottle back away, but my day job is I work for Remy Cointreau. You probably know it as Remy Martin. So one of it's not a black owned spirit, but it is the our cellar master or our master blender is a woman. Her name's Trudy Ann Brankard, and we're out of Barbados, so that's the closest we can get. But she is a fantastic woman, and because it's Women's History Month, I figured, I would toast to her. So this is a Mount Gay XO out of Barbados, and blended by Miss Trudy Ann Brankard. So
I love that. Let's pull up to that.
yeah.
Women's History
Yes.
Month, doing it big. And I see you, gentlemen, cigars. Yes, cards are still available online at Well, actually, no, that might be a question for you. So I know you're right now transitioned to an app. However, do you still have physical cards available?
We've never done physical cards. It's always been an app. Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. And then for
So yeah,
us,
you go on any of the stores and just go. You just put TipOff, TIPOFF, all one word, and it should come up. It should say word guessing game.
okay, I love
Mm-hmm.
that. I feel like I haven't seen many like, well, there are a lot of app-based games out there, but I don't feel like there are a lot of the ones specific to like the culture, like you said, word guessing culture.
Right.
But for Pull-Up Card Game, for those of you who are new to us, we are available online at pullupcards.com. If you're doing your first order, you get 15% off. And if you're in the DMV, we are at Busboys and Poets, Nubian Human. And if you're in Brooklyn, we are at Brooklyn.
So where can I pick you up in Chicago if I wanted to go to a brick and mortar?
I love your question. What are some recommendations for like Black?
I would say the Silver Room. You need to be in the Silver Room. Maybe I can't even remember the name of it's a bookstore, but it's like escaping my mind. Semicolon. Semicolon. It's a woman owned bookstore. I believe they have other things besides books, but I think they would probably take your game because it would fit the aesthetic. Ooh. But yeah, I would say Semicolon and definitely Silver Room on 53rd and Hyde Park. So I can get you their contact information when we get off of here.
Much. I love it. No collaborate, you know.
Exactly.
We're trying to hit all the major cities and eventually, you know, all 50 states. But I'm interested in learning a little bit more about TipOff Game because you said 2017. That was the beginning. So can you talk us a little bit about like the milestones between getting started in 2017, how you turned an idea into an app, and then like where you are now in 2022?
Okay, so like as I mentioned before, when I first graduated, that's when I decided to make the cards, and it wasn't to make it a business or anything. It was just I was bored that summer. I graduated, no job, and was something to do. It was just a hobby, and I would take it to people's house parties and kickbacks, or people come over my mother's house. I was living with her at the time, and we would just play the game, and people thought it was fun. They were like, "You should make this into a real game." And, you know, I was young. I didn't know how to start that, how to do that, or where to go, or how to get IP, or, you know, any of that, trademarks and all of that. And it was just overwhelming because you're young, broke, and inexperienced. So you just kind of just sat on it, went and got a regular job. And, yeah, and then some years later, it popped back up with the whole app situation. And people kept asking me, because people were borrowing the game at this point. Like, you know, I was just had this one bag of cards that were being passed around amongst everybody, and people were still like, so are you going to make this a game or not? And I was like, I'm working on it, but once again, really didn't know what to do. So I met my now business partner in 2016, and then by 2017, we had, you know, got a developer, coded everything, done everything we needed, and launched it October of 2017. So yeah, we've just kind of added on to it. We only had a handful of we only had one category. It was just a classic category when we started. Now we're up to about 12 different categories. So we have HBCU, movies, music. We're getting ready to roll out a Black Girl Magic pack this month. So quarterly, we always come out with a new category just to freshen up the game and have, you know, bring people back. Because sometimes people feel like once they played the game once, they kind of played it. But now if it's something new to check out, we can bring people back and get new people. So we have a Niger pack. We plan on doing a Caribbean pack, or even a Haitian or Jamaican pack. So the sky is the limit to what we can do. Yeah.
I love that. And when you say Haitian Jamaican, you know, my dad is Haitian, my mom is Jamaican.
Yeah,
you speak you speak in my dad's language because I didn't learn. But no.
No, I have a lot of my line sisters are Haitian, so I got a little Haitian culture from them.
I mean, yes, when you say University of Miami, I already know. And yes to Lil Handler, the blend of dedication and courage, just hearing your story. Agree with
Thank
that.
you.
And then Gentleman Cigars. Okay, C-Suite Network, we are here for that. Issa,
Yeah.
Florida based, so I know you're here for Haiti and Jamaica too. So one of my questions for you is, now that you've been in the industry from the perspective of an app-based game, do you feel like it could have been costlier to have a physical product? And then how did you and your partner determine how to fund the initial development of the app?
Okay, well, we bootstrapped in the beginning, which did, it was three of us that went in and bootstrapped in the beginning. So it cost a lot more than I expected it to, but I think honestly, in the long run, it costs less overhead because I don't have to physically go get things made and store them, and time wise, it's just better off too, because people, it's up 24 hours a day whenever, anytime somebody wants to download it versus an order coming in and I have to either physically pack it up or someone else to. Time is money. So that was one of the reasons I decided to go the app route, is because we can make changes on the fly whenever we want to. Like if I wanted to go in now and somebody found an edit wrong on one of the cards, I could go in and change it and upload it, and then it's changed and fixed. Versus saying, oh, okay, I have to wait until we come out with whatever the next version of the cards are, or figure that out. So that it's a lot of pros that we saw from our side is why we went the app route.
And then I did a little switcheroo to my AirPods, but so based on that experience, like if you had to choose from 2017 to 2022, one success to pull up to, what would that one success be?
One success to pull up to, I would say the biggest thing was probably the fact we were on lockdown. And so we kind of changed our business strategy to doing online game nights. So a good friend of mine named Mike, that's what Afrotech, I kind of shot an idea to him, like, how about we just kind of throw the idea out to colleges, because now colleges have all this budget for student activities and no way to have their students meet up. Everything's virtual now. We should push out game nights to colleges and corporations and things like that. And they took to it. So it went from us, me just trying to get people to download the game and doing physical game nights, to pitching these virtual game nights to different colleges and them accepting it and us hosting game nights. So we host the game nights for University of Miami, of course. We did it for not Xavier, but I can't even think of what the school is. It's in New Orleans. I'm having a brain fart. But yeah, we did a lot of colleges during that time, and that was one benefit from COVID for us, is that anyone can download the game at any time, and we kind of got ahead of it and made it a positive for the company to make some money doing all these game nights. And not even, we would do private game nights for birthdays, bachelorette parties, because no one was physically getting together to do anything. So we had DJs and hosts and kind of made it into this virtual party where people can come together and play the game. So it's some of it you'll see, you can look it up and see them on our YouTube page, some of the parties and things like that. And so yeah, people were coming, just paying us to host virtual game nights for them.
I love like the pivot during the pandemic, but using it to benefit your business rather than looking at it as a deficit.
Right.
And so one thing that's coming to mind to me, even though you said it like minutes ago, 99 cents. How did y'all come to that price point? Has your app for download always been at 99 cents? And what have been some of the learning curves around pricing in the app industry, if you will?
Okay. When we first dropped it, it was free. We made it free. It was, like I said, one pack. because we wanted people to know what it was. We wanted to use it to build our social media and create a buzz and have people talk about it and play it. So it was free, like the first 6 months to a year, I believe. We made it free just to kind of build up an audience. And then we're like 15K downloads in, which is, to be honest, is still low for the average, app. But we decided to switch to 99 cent once we started adding more categories, because it's like, well, now we're putting in extra work and people need to pay for that extra work and extra content. So we decided 99 cent. Usually, but once you get beyond 99 cent, especially for, our cousins and everything like that, they're going to be like, I don't know about that. You start seeing 1.99 and, $3, and it's like, I don't know about that, but 99 cent, most people don't have to think about it. So even if it's something they know they'll only play once, they'll still download it. So 99 cent is like the sweet spot that we found.
And then, of course, as a soror, how did you leverage your line sisters, your chapter, alumni chapter, any of those networks to really grow the game?
In a bunch of different ways. I've had some of, we've done game nights. I've done game nights with some of my line and some other people in my chapter. I'm a charter member of my chapter, so that makes it easier for when I have to reach back out to somebody. Normally, they will not say no. So if I ask, like, hey, I need you guys to play a game and send a video to me that I can use on social media, or, I have people that graduated. Exactly. So people that, people that might have been film and video majors, or, I had somebody that was over one of the shows on campus. So I was like, hey, I'll be down. Can you get me on the show on campus? So, just asking favors. And then here with the chapter here, I've had some sorors host game nights and things like that if we know they're Delta based, or if they're just like, we had a couple of Greek nights during that time when it was, the Omegas or anybody's night like that. So sometimes they would be hosts of those nights. So yeah, just asking and seeing if people are willing to help. And 9 times out of 10, people don't say no. They'll help out.
No, same thing for me. Actually, before I jump in, like, line number, line name, if you're able to share. I know some chapters aren't able to share anything, just, Greek related that we should know, and then I'll share too.
Gotcha. Well, I'm number 8, Tall Road chapter, Spring '04, University of Miami. So I am Justice. That is my line name. I can share it, so that's fine. But yeah, number 8.
Okay.
Number of affinity. What about you?
So I am Liz Renee, so Zeta Psi, University of Georgia, Spring 13, number 33 out of 35. And I will also share mine. I'm the Vow, the Vision of Wisdom. My number was also my ADP, so I feel like after all that, I got a great line name.
That's good. That's good. So clearly you were tall then.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because for some reason I took you to be short until now, like on the card game, but I was like, oh, she looks like she's petite.
So funny. No, I'm 5'10".
Oh wow, yeah, you were far from petite.
But I love that. Justice, number 8, Spring '04, and I did not realize that the University of Miami. So you said you're a charter member, so University of Miami Delta chapter was not chartered until '04.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Tall Road chapter, it was 17 of us, sagacious 17. And yeah, we started it off. Everybody else was there except for us, and they sought to bring us back to campus.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. I love hearing that. I don't think I definitely haven't been online with a charter member. So there's a first thing for everything. So before we get into a few rounds of tip off, if we're able to play on the phone.
Absolutely.
If there are like young kids or maybe older folks who are trying to like build an app, what are maybe like a few do's and don'ts that you can share as a Black person in this space?
Oh, it's a lot that I've learned. We can talk about that for an hour. I would say definitely do your research. I've seen people get taken advantage of by people that tell them they can create apps, and you pay all this money, you don't get what you want, or they're just using a platform you could have used on your own to create. I was lucky because I was able to find my business partner. That's what she does is tech, and so she got a chance to make the mistakes first and then come and say, well, this will work better than doing this. So I will say I had help, but we've still learned a lot through that. I would say oftentimes ideas that people have can be websites and not necessarily apps. I know the app word sounds sexier than website, but sometimes they function the same way. Once somebody pulls it up on a cell phone, it looks the same as you putting all the effort in to get somebody to code it to make it an app. So I always have to ask people, like, what are the functionalities? What do you want it to do? And then when they tell me, I was like, well, you can just make a website for that. You don't need it to be an app. And I think they're always let down because, like I said, app sounds sexier than website. So, but it'll save you a lot more money in the long run if you can do it on a website. I'm trying to think of what else. Those are the biggest things. Is do your research, talk to a couple different people. A lot of what you want, you can find on like Upwork, Fiverr, if you do reviews and find some good people. So we've used some people to do some projects with us, like content management system things. And this last project we had, making the app, doing video and audio, video, in the app. We've used some people off of Upwork, but you got to definitely look at the reviews and see what's going on before you move forward, paying all this money and not getting what you wanted. So
that is helpful.
And then I think, mm-hmm.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, you were saying that's helpful because what?
Because sometimes things you don't know about that are so like up in the air, you're like, it just seems so intense. So let me throw a lot of money at it so I don't need to figure it out. But I appreciate hearing that in some cases it's an app you can figure out how to use yourself, or it's very similar to a website, so you can look into that. I feel like those are some things that clearly people are taking advantage of, but it's helpful to know before you get started.
Exactly. I think we live in a society now like people don't want to do the heavy lifting. So they get taken advantage of because of that. Because they're like you said, oh, I'll just throw some money at it and let somebody else do it. But you haven't at least done the pre-work to know that the person that's doing it can actually do what they say.
And Fiverr and Upwork. I'm not on Upwork yet, but Fiverr, I've been using it for a lot of stuff because you're right. Reviews, able to, people all around the world, they set their price, so you don't necessarily feel like you're selling anyone short, like you're not negotiating anybody's price. They set it. Yeah. They have reviews, and you can figure out based on their designs and their work whether they're worth a try. And sometimes like Fiverr can be so inexpensive that if it doesn't work out, you don't feel as bad because it's like I only spent so much on it anyway. Exactly.
Yes. So,
well, I'm excited to play a few rounds of Tip-Off. Can you, just for people who have just joined or people who are trying to figure out how to play, can you talk about how to play the game?
Absolutely. And then I'm going to answer because I know somebody had said, what is it, Gentleman Cigar? Said something about coming on a digital TV show, but I don't know which one of us he's talking about, if it's you or me. But yes, I will be happy to just DM us and the information. Out of the Darkness with Daniel, is that what it's called? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I will be happy to say how to play the game. So I will pull it up first. So basically, it's like a Taboo, but for you. That's another little model that we have. But you play the game the same way. It's just your deck is in the app. Everything is in the app. It takes the score. Because I know a lot of people if you play Taboo, people get into a lot of fights about the score. It's supposed to be this and this and other. Now we've taken that away from you. So now you don't even have to worry about that. So it keeps the track of the timer. People used to forget that because you know, when people are playing Taboo, what are they normally doing? Doing some of this. So, you know, some of what we normally would be paying attention to as the night goes on. You're not paying attention to the buzzer or the timer or the score. You're just shouting at each other and having fun playing the game. So, anyway, on the game, and I'll let you play. Let me see. I'm gonna do single phone mode. So we'll do one round. So I'll go through the categories and let you pick the category you want, and then we'll start from there. So we have a Buy Black, which is just a bunch of Black-owned businesses. Black History, Black Music, Travel, Rattlers, which is FAMU, Quarantine, Niger, which is Nigeria, Maroon Tigers, I believe that's Spelman. Jaguars is
Maroon Tigers is Morehouse. Jaguars is Spelman.
That's Morehouse, and Jaguars is Spelman. There we go. Thank you. We have a Holiday, HBCU, Gen Z Pack, and Classic Church Chicago. We have a Bougie Pack, Black Cinema, Bison, which Howard, and 90s.
Okay.
So
I love that. And Gentleman Cigars is asking, how many people can play at one time?
If you are physically in a room with someone, it could be as many people as you want to, because you just kind of pass the phone around, and so you play whatever amount of rounds that you want to play. If you are playing virtually, you can have up to 8 people, so 4 per team.
Okay. So how can people play along with us if they're in the chat? Just throw their guesses out there?
Yeah, they can throw their guesses out there. That's how we can do it tonight. If we had more time, I would say we could do a virtual game, but people still wouldn't be able to like physically see how it was played unless they could, follow along. But this is kind of how the category page looks. So you would just pick a category. Let's say we'll do Gen Z.
Okay.
I will press on Gen Z. Let me press on Gen Z. Let's go. And then the card will come up. Hold on, somebody's trying to call me. There we go. The card will come up. And then it starts the timer.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. Well, out of the categories, you know what? Matter of fact, let us know in the comments, which of the categories do you want us to play? I heard Buy Black. I heard Bison for Howard. I heard Rattler for FAMU. Jaguar for Spelman's, Maroon Tigers for Morehouse. So clearly I'm remembering all of the colleges. What were some of the other ones? And folks, let us know in the chat which of the categories you want us to play.
So we had 90s, we had Black Music, Black History, Travel, Niger, Holiday, Gen Z, Church, Chicago, because that's where I'm from. So we'll have more city packs coming out as well. What did I say? Black Cinema, Bougie. Yeah.
Okay.
So I will say the hardest one is honestly the Black History and the Buy Black one, because if you're not familiar with the brands, you'll never be able to really guess what some of them are.
Okay.
But it's a good way to expose people.
Someone said Bougie, please. So since you were the first, we will start with Bougie. Lil Handler.
Okay, we'll do Bougie. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute and have you see how many of the Bougie pack you can get. All right, here we go. It's just pulling up the game. Okay. So this is a brand that is European, specifically Italian. I think there was a movie that actually recently just came out about one of the, not founders, but somebody that took over.
Or Lady Gaga
sort of kind of like that. People use this word when they want to say, "Oh, everything's okay." Yes, Gucci. There we go. So I will press got 'em, and you get a point. Okay, this is I can't say any of this word. People have, because I say salads. Lately, people have been using a lot of this legume in salads.
Beans.
You said what?
Beans.
Oh, you know what? Not legume, because that's beans. I'm sorry. They've been using this in place of lettuce. Okay, well now
Kale.
that was a
Kale.
yeah. You would have got it. I should have said lettuce
That's
versus
funny. That's
that.
bougie.
Yeah. So you got. I mean, they start putting it in everything now, and I'm just like kind of
Right.
out of the blue. So yeah, we can stick with that, or we can go with another one.
Feel free to let us know in the chat if you want to try another category. And while y'all are voting in the chat for the next category, I just want to shout out the people who are still with us on the live. So Lil Handler, thank you for recommending that bougie category. Gentleman Cigar has been representing the entire time from the beginning. Song Nario, another Black-owned card game. Definitely want to be able to connect with you on a future live. Justina Broderick and Sweet Baby D. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And so yelling out my answers. So hey, that's how we love to play it like that. So it sounds like we want to try the buy Black category for the businesses.
Okay. All right. So we're going to try that one. Like I said, it may be hard because you might not know the businesses, but let's see. Let's do this. So this one came out in December, obviously, for Christmas and stuff. Okay. So this is a drink. This is perfect because we're pouring up. So this is a drink that's out of Tennessee. It's
Uncle
a
Nearest.
black, not Uncle Nearest, but it's similar to Uncle Nearest. Black man went
Jack
to
Daniels.
HBCU.
Oh wait, no.
He made it. If I am leading somebody, I am. What's another word for lead?
CEO, boss, head.
No, it's more so of a verb. So if I lead somebody, if somebody's following behind me.
Someone said guide.
Okay, yes, exactly, guide. So I expand on the word guide. It's like a counselor. What do they call a counselor?
Guide therapist?
No. When you're in high school, they have these kind of counselors. Guidance. Yeah. So it's a whiskey called Guidance. Okay. So you got one thing, but there's a whiskey out of Tennessee, and the guy went to a HBCU. I'm not gonna lie about which HBCU. I believe it's one that's in that area, but the name is Guidance Whiskey. So that's what I said. It's some of the businesses are hard, but if you break down the word,
you should know.
Exactly. So I mean, we have other, of course, Uncle Nearest is in there. I'm trying to think of what other brands, bigger ones that we know, FUBU
and Blackwood now, like as you
right,
update it and stuff like that.
Exactly. The lip bar, which is what I'm wearing on my lips right now, they're in there. So some of the big hair brands, Lusters, the old ones that we know, the new ones that are in there. Then some that are just hidden gems. I think what is it? What was one of the places in DC that you said you had your game?
Nubian Human. And
okay, well no, but Poets and Bus Boys is in the pack too.
Okay,
so yeah.
Bus Boys and Poets, yes, I love it.
Exactly.
What is your favorite category? Maybe we should play that one next.
My favorite category is probably 90s.
Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't make you do Chicago. It probably actually is Chicago, but hold on.
It probably is Chicago, but since you're not from Chicago, I wouldn't do that to you. So let's see. Let's pull 90s up. All right. So this is somebody who was a now I want to say heartthrob. Yeah, I guess a heartthrob for the men. Still is. She's considered like the epitome of
Janet
beauty.
Jackson.
No, movie.